Hi, my name's Christian Radley, and I have an amazing team of teachers with me here today. We're hoping to solve some problems in our community, and to do that, we really need your help. Whether you live in a big city or a small town, lots of different factors contribute to community problems. And that means you're going to use lots of different skills to help come up with solutions. From social studies to science, math, and English language arts, get ready to see how all those skills you learn in a classroom can be put to good use right in your community. Each community is unique, so I'm going to ask you to imagine your unique community. What comes to mind? Maybe you're picturing your neighbors and the people who work in the stores, deliver the mail, and walk their dogs down your street. Or maybe you're picturing the basic map of your town and the buildings, businesses, and homes that make up your community. That organizational structure of society is called its infrastructure. Infrastructure covers a lot of things that help a community function. It's not only the buildings and businesses, it also includes transportation systems, the roadways and bridges that lead you through town, the communication systems, waste management processes, and its water and power supplies. Infrastructure is a complex puzzle that's designed for the people and businesses in a community to thrive. And communities often thrive when young people, like you, are involved in the systems at work where they live. Do you take pride in your community? I know I take pride in mine. Communities are home to many of our life's most meaningful moments. For instance, I remember playing Little League Baseball and riding my bike around the community. I can picture the view over my handlebars of all the places I went. I have fond memories of going to community festivals and sporting events and rallies while growing up. And when people came to visit from out of town, I remember proudly showing them the museums and discussing the history that shaped my community's infrastructure. I love my community, so I want to see it thrive, along with all the great people who live here. But like many communities across Pennsylvania and around the world, my community has room for improvement. To get you thinking about that, let me tell you a little bit about my hometown. I'm from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. It was founded in 1791 by a Swiss immigrant named Joseph Schantz. It came to be known as Johnstown, or today we know it as Johnstown. In 1852, the Cambria Iron Company of Johnstown was founded, and it's considered one of the greatest of early modern iron and steelworks. As the steel mill and coal mines grew, thousands of immigrants, many from Southern and Eastern Europe, came to Johnstown to work, and they settled next to the mill. But in 1889, Johnstown was devastated by a great flood. It killed over 2,200 people, destroyed 1,600 homes, and resulted in over $17 million in property damage. That was an enormous amount of money at that time. Johnstown was rebuilt and actually grew to a population of 67,000 by 1920. But unfortunately, Johnstown was hit by another flood in 1936. The people of Johnstown are resilient though. They rebuilt again. But in 1977, you guessed it, another flood hit Johnstown. That one took 85 lives and did $300 million in property damage. The damage to the economy was made even worse when employment at Bethlehem Steel dropped by 4,000. Since then, Johnstown's population and its economy have declined. And when a city's infrastructure is built for 40 to 70,000 people, but only 19,000 currently live there, it is inevitable that there will be blight. Blight is a term used to explain the process when a once functioning city falls into disrepair and decay. Residents and businesses leave the area. As time passes, abandoned homes and buildings deteriorate and fall down, or they attract trouble. Either way, that blight becomes dangerous and unattractive, and it drives down property values for surrounding properties. But there's a positive trend across the country to revive depressed towns by tearing down blight and building green spaces. So we're challenging you to design a green space for your community. Okay, right now, you might be saying, great, but what's a green space? Well, a green space is a designated area where nature and humanity cooperate, mindfully and intentionally, within what is otherwise an urban landscape. Research shows that green spaces tend to improve people's happiness, health, and constructive brain activity. Thoughts become clearer, breaths become fuller, connections become stronger, and physical activity becomes natural in a green space. Research has even shown that when people live within 10 minutes from parks and nature spaces, they're happier and healthier. Unfortunately, when access to those green spaces isn't equitable, those health benefits aren't always fairly distributed. That reduces access for our most marginalized citizens who need them the most. In that way, green spaces contribute to social justice too, because more people have access to the nature spaces that help make them healthier. And when the green spaces replace the abandoned buildings and other blight, the whole community becomes safer and more attractive for all the members of the community. Now I'm going to ask you to picture your community again, and this time, think about how a dynamic green space can improve the overall and individual health of your community. How can that green space be woven into your community's infrastructure? Answering those questions requires you to think about how a community's needs can influence the design and physical construction of a space. So you'll need to understand how people interact with their communities and how a nature space could be designed to promote interactions and improve community cohesion. You'll need to determine a location for your green space, and that means analyzing street maps and satellite maps. Community leaders need to be on board with the idea, so you'll have to learn who serves on city councils and other influential groups that have the power to approve decisions and commit funds. And who knows, maybe you'll even discover that you want to be one of those community decision makers in the future. And finally, to make sure your green space honors the community it's in, you'll have to conduct research about your town's history and understand what's important to the people who live there. Then, get to work on a design that offers a comprehensive solution. This project gives you an opportunity to learn about diverse problems in your community. It will also help you think of every problem you identify as an opportunity to create a solution. Every community across our nation could likely identify problems or issues to be addressed and improved. We can always strive to be more perfect. We hope you can apply your skills, utilize your talents, chase your passions, and create meaningful change for the place you call home. We can't wait to see what you create.
To download the free lesson plans to be used with this program, visit us online at wqed.org/SOS. To request a hard copy of the lesson plans, please contact your local school district. Funding for this program is provided by the Pennsylvania Department of Education for Learning at Home.